Hi, I'm Dr. Deneb Bates, naturopathic doctor. Today we're going to talk about ingredients that are beneficial for people with multiple sclerosis. The first thing I want to talk about is lipids. Lipids are fats, but the lipid that's most important for brain health is one called DHA. Fish are a great source of DHA. Wild Alaskan salmon, sardines, and anchovies are all good sources. Now, if you don't like fish or you just want an insurance policy, you can take a high DHA fish oil. There are also vegetarian foods that are precursors to DHA, and these are nuts and seeds like walnuts, hemp seeds, and chia seeds. The best dietary source of vitamin K is dark leafy green vegetables. However, dark leafy greens have the form of vitamin K called vitamin K1. Our bodies can convert vitamin K1 into vitamin K2, but it is vitamin K2 that's really used by our brains. So, a way to cheat with this is to eat grass-fed butter. Those cows who've been eating grass are doing the conversion of vitamin K1 into vitamin K2 for you. Organic grass-fed butter is a source of vitamin K2, as is organic grass-fed ghee, which you can cook with. And then also there are vitamin K2 supplements. Polyphenols are a huge group of molecules that come primarily from colorful fruits and vegetables. These different plant molecules can help to protect our cells from oxidative stress, and they also support the maturation of myelin-making cells. Anything that's purplish blue in color is going to be a rich source of a polyphenol called an anthocyanidin. Purple vegetables, blueberries, black beans, black rice, if it's purple, it's got some of these good brain antioxidants in it. We also have the polyphenol-rich beverages, always popular. So coffee, green tea, and red wine are great sources of polyphenols. Olive oil is a source of polyphenols, as are herbs and spices. So things like parsley, celery, onions, turmeric, they're all great sources of these polyphenols. One that I want to mention particularly is a polyphenol found in the rind of citrus fruits. It's called hesperidin, and it's been shown to help with neuron survival. Don't just use the juice of citrus, find other ways to use the entire fruit. Betaine is a nutrient that helps to maintain the protein component of myelin. And one of the best food sources of betaine is beets. So you can get beets fresh, you can get them already prepared, or you can even get beet powder, which makes it really easy to use it. You can throw it into a smoothie or hide it in some baked goods. So I've gathered some of our brain healthy ingredients. We're going to make roasted beets, collard greens, and wild Alaskan salmon. Let's start cooking. Okay, so we're gonna start with the beets and keep this really, really simple. You don't even need a cutting board for this part of it. All I'm gonna do right now is just cut the beets right off the leaves. Leave the tails on and just put them into a roasting dish. In goes a little splash of water. It doesn't really matter how much, maybe a tablespoon or two. And then you want to cover it with a tight-fitting lid so that they'll kind of roast and steam at the same time. They go into an oven. They're actually pretty flexible, so anywhere between 350 and 425. They roast for about an hour. I just roll up the collard greens and cut them into thin ribbons. Some people like to stew collard greens to death, but I actually like to cook them really briefly. And they make great leftovers. You can throw them in with some eggs. The other thing is, if we cut them like this, they're almost like noodles, so you can add them to soups. They're really easy. So we're gonna cook these collard greens and keep it really simple. We have our collard green ribbons here, some chopped garlic, olive oil, and salt. That's it, that's all we need. So all we're gonna do is heat up the pan, add some olive oil, start with the garlic. So we'll cook the garlic for probably about 30 seconds. It'll start to smell good, but you don't want it to brown. So once it starts simmering and smelling good, that's when we want to add our greens. Let's check on it. Oh, they're starting to get bright green. I'm gonna add a little water just to help them steam and be tender. not very much. And then collard greens tend to be a little bit bitter, so salt helps to cut that bitterness. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to it as well. Let me put them on the plate. So we'll plate some of these for our dish. And then the others, I'm actually just gonna put in the refrigerator so I can eat them later. I love these as leftovers. So I have my rinsed piece of salmon in a parchment lined pan. And then from here, I just wanna sprinkle it with a little bit of salt. Give it a little bit of freshly ground pepper. And then I'm just gonna use a little bit of some organic grass-fed butter. And so then what I want to do is take a couple of citrus fruits. I have a Meyer lemon and a tangerine, and just cut really, really thin slices. And we're just going to use these on top of the salmon. It helps to keep it moist, gives it flavor, and of course gives us some of the brain healthy nutrients. So that's all it takes to prepare the salmon, and then it goes into the oven, 425 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. So I took my beets out of the oven, and you can tell if they're done if a sharp knife just really easily slips right into it. We didn't take the skins off earlier because they're so easy to just slip right off after they're cooked. So what I'm gonna do is cut off the tops and the tails. We're gonna make a roasted beet salad, and all I'm gonna do is chop these beets up into bite-sized pieces. Just pour on some olive oil. We're gonna use some balsamic vinegar. And then I'm gonna finish this with some chopped parsley. So we get some of our polyphenol-rich herbs into this. And then some crushed walnuts. Stir. Let the olive oil and the balsamic vinegar get all over the beets. All right, here is the finished piece of wild Alaskan salmon with citrus and grass-fed butter. Just put it on our plate. So today we took science, we used some kitchen alchemy, and we've turned it into a brain healthy dinner. Enjoy.